Sindbad the sailor had survived 4 harrowing voyages. He returned to Baghdad a man of immense wealth, living with every comfort he could need. Yet, the safety of the city eventually felt like a cage. His drive to see the world's edge pulled him back toward the water. He spent his fortune on trade goods, joined a merchant company, and set out on a 5th voyage to reach markets he had never seen. But the ocean was not finished with him. A violent storm tore his ship apart, leaving Sindbad the sole survivor on a quiet island. He found himself in a place of running streams and trees heavy with fruit. After the chaos of the wreck, the island's silence felt like a gift. Sindbad ate, drank from the springs, and began to believe he was finally safe. He was wandering through a landscape that provided for his every need, and that comfort made him stop looking for threats. He was about to learn that on a deserted island, the most dangerous thing you can find is a reason to lower your guard. Near a stream, Sindbad found an old man sitting on the ground. The stranger looked weak and frail, gesturing for Sindbad to lift him up and carry him across the water. Sindbad leaned down, offering his back to the old man to help him across the water. As soon as the man was on Sindbad's shoulders, his legs snapped shut around Sindbad's neck like a pair of iron shackles. The old man didn't let go. He began beating Sindbad's head and chest, kicking his ribs to force him to walk wherever he pleased. Sindbad had become a pack animal, driven into the woods by a creature that never let him rest. Sindbad carried a sword, but he couldn't use it. The monster was fused to his spine. Any attempt to strike at his captor would likely end in Sindbad cutting his own throat. The act of helping the man had placed Sindbad in a position where his physical strength was useless. He was carrying his own executioner. This creature functions as a biological parasite. It bypasses a direct fight by securing the high ground on a victim's body, using the host's own skeleton for support. By squeezing the neck from behind, the parasite applies constant pressure to the carotid arteries, limiting oxygen flow to the brain. This constant restriction forces perpetual fatigue. Over weeks of carrying the weight, Sindbad's stamina failed and his resistance eroded. Sindbad realized that every time he tried to pull the man off, the grip only tightened. He was in a situation he couldn't outrustle. To survive an enemy that lived on his back, he had to stop using his muscles and start looking at what the island actually had to offer. While being marched through the forest, Sindbad noticed wild grapes and large hollow gourds scattered on the ground. He began a slow, quiet process. He crushed grapes into the gourds, then left them in the sun. As he was beaten and ridden across the island, the sun worked on the juice inside the gourds, turning the sugar into alcohol. Once the wine was ready, Sindbad drank it himself. He began to sing and dance as if he were happy, acting as though his burden no longer bothered him. The monsters saw Sindbad's sudden energy and demanded the drink. He swallowed the contents of the gourds until he was heavily intoxicated. As the alcohol hit his system, his muscles finally went limp. The iron grip failed. Sindbad threw the man to the ground and used a heavy stone to end the threat once and for all. Sindbad didn't win because he was stronger. He won because he used the island's climate to create a solution that attacked the monster's biology. Sindbad made his way back to the beach, finally free of the weight he had carried for weeks. When a ship finally arrived to rescue him, the sailors were stunned to see him alive. They recognized his story instantly. They told him he had killed the Sheikh al-Bahr, the legendary old man of the sea. The creature was famous among sailors for having a perfect record. He had ridden every previous victim until they dropped dead of exhaustion. at which point he would simply eat them. When explorers like Captain Richard Francis Burton translated these tales in the 19th century, they noted the specific dread of this monster. It represented a type of entrapment that physical skill couldn't solve. Sindbad's fifth voyage wasn't a victory of arms. He survived because he had the discipline to wait for an opening and the presence of mind to turn a monster's own nature against it.